That's 864.
Rashad Beard, you handsome devil. How you been, brother?
What's going on, guys?
You've been busy, pal, getting that real life adulting going, huh?
Oh, man, it's a lot happening. It's a lot happening, so we're good, though.
When you
I'm glad
adopt
to hear it,
from
man.
Greenville
Glad
County
you're
Animal
back.
Care, you're getting an animal who has been spayed or neutered, is microchipped, and is up to date on vaccinations.
And welcome to the PNP
Most pets
Army
can be
showing
brought home
up.
the same day you adopt.
Glad to have you all.
We do charge a small fee
Yep.
to adopt a pet to help us help more animals, but sometimes we have adoption specials and the fees are waived.
Dude, I love
As a
your
service to
fan
veterans,
base is
all
legit,
adoptions are
pal.
free.
Like, it's
Yeah, man.
diehards. I love it.
It is. They are. I appreciate them so much,
Taxes was taxing. Now taxes is relaxing. When you
and they've
file
been
for
around
free.
for a long
I can
time.
file for free. TurboTax
I go check out the Panthers subreddit every now and then on Reddit. But man, you and Dave, y'all starting to show up like a lot.
Really?
Yeah, people bringing your takes
Now
to the
this is
subreddit a couple
taxes.
times a day.
File for free with
Yeah,
TurboTax Free Edition and get your maximum refund. No
I
schedule
hang out there every now and then. I did use one of the Reddit's users. He has this nice visit tracker for the draft, and it's really well done. So I did leverage that and gave him credit for it, obviously, on the show. Yeah, it's pretty dope. Did a real good job with it because it's impossible to keep up with all the visits. But that spreadsheet is done pretty well.
It's not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com.
I like Rashad's use of leveraged.
Hey, look, man, I borrowed it. It's one less thing I had to do.
97.7 FM Greenville, 97.1 FM Spartanburg. Always streaming wherever you are on the Odyssey app.
Fan Upstate.
No need to check the clock. It's Rob Brown time. Now, weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on the Fan Upstate.
Guess who's back again? Rashad is back. Tell your friends every Thursday at 8:40 a.m. Rashad Beard, host of the Panther Nation podcast, joins us here on the show. Unless he's like doing his real job or being a dad or going to the dentist or whatever he's got going on. But he joins us today, and we're glad to have him back in the fold. What's up, big fella?
What's going on? I feel like man, it's been so long. I miss you guys a little bit.
It's been a couple of weeks, pal. It has.
Yeah.
You've been off big leaguing us a little bit, I think.
Yeah, a little bit. That's on me, man. I apologize to the audience.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's listen, it turns out we don't pay Rashad to do this, so he gets an off day when he wants one. All right. Let's check in, man, on everything that's been happening. So it has been a couple of weeks, so there's been a lot going on. I want to start with, I don't know if you heard, we played a clip from Dave Canales about Bryce Young earlier, and I'm not gonna turn this into a 15-minute Bryce Young segment, but I have found it interesting that over the past really handful of days, and a lot of this may be because they're trying to minimize draft plan discussion or talk about stuff that's not contract, free agent signings, etc. But last couple of days, I've heard a handful of clips out of Dave Canales kind of praising and talking well about QB1 next year. Do you have any thoughts on kind of what Dave Canales has been doing on this Bryce Young representation tour?
I mean, it's about time. You know what I mean? That Bryce starts to get his flowers from his coach. If you recall back during the season, it was like pulling teeth trying to get some sort of compliment out of Bryce Young for Bryce Young during the season out of Dave Canales. And now, and this is the way things should be, right? We should prop up our QB1, and he's earned it, right? I think he's gone out there and did exactly what he needed to do to get that, those flowers for him. So I like it, man. I think we got to continue to build, and hopefully they get him, they continue to improve the weapons around him, and we don't go back to a scenario where we're dependent on Bryce to be said point guard. Because I recall our ownership going out there and saying when we drafted Bryce Young that we didn't need all these weapons because we have Bryce Young and he's a point guard. And so I think that got us in a lot of trouble. And so hopefully, we've added a lot to this defense. I'm hopeful that we continue to add to the offense to prop Bryce Young up, and so we don't lean on him and rely on him to be Superman.
All right, you brought up the defense there, and I was looking just a few minutes ago. We are in top 30 visit time, and this is where those of us that like to deep dive the draft kind of start to really get into it a little bit. But from what I have read, Carolina's brought in like a buttload of edge rushers for top 30 visits over the past couple of days. Are we starting to lean towards that 8 pick as an edge rusher if a guy they like is available?
Yeah, I think that obviously I think the pick is probably going to be Jalen Walker if he's available. I'm hearing a lot of hype that the Patriots, maybe there's a little chess game moving between the two teams, but the Patriots have interest in him as well. But if Jalen Walker's there, I'm quite certain that the Panthers will run up to the podium to select Jalen Walker. Now, what I do think the Carolina Panthers are doing is that they're building a case and they're doing their homework on guys just in case that Jalen Walker is not the guy and they have to go another position at number 8. And we have to pick another edge rusher up later. So I think that's what the Carolina Panthers are doing right now is just building that depth just in case they have to go elsewhere at pick number 8. So I obviously it's the biggest need on the roster is edge rusher, and we need to get it. And I think that's what's going to happen. Edge rusher at 8. If I had to bet all my coins, which is not many, by the way.
Hey, welcome to broadcasting, baby. You picked it, all right? We don't choose the broadcast life. The broadcast life choose us. Rashad Beard, host of the Panther Nation podcast, joining us here on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. And we've talked about it a bit. Like, this team's got a lot of spots. And the weird spot, I guess positive spot for you, Rashad Beard, is that we always have the conversation about going best available versus biggest need. You guys got enough holes that you can kind of balance between the two, right? Like, you just take the best available player that fills a position of need. If you do go edge rusher, whether it's Jalen or it's Shamar Stewart or whoever else in that spot, do you think that is the first of a selection of defensive players for the Carolina Panthers, or do you think we'll weave a little offense in there?
I think they have to weave a little offense in there for my sake, because I will go crazy if it's another full defensive draft. We spent a lot of money and a lot of resources on the defense and free agency, rightfully so, which we needed to do that. But we cannot ignore the offense. When you look at the wide receiver core specifically, you've got an aging Adam Thielen. You've got, David Moore. Okay, cool. You still got Coker. You got Legette, which we want to get better. But we still need to add to that, right? We need to build that depth and that future depth for our wide receiver core. So I'm looking for us to get a wide receiver. And another thing that you brought up the visits earlier, what a sneaky position that we are bringing in a lot of guys for is offensive line, right? We're bringing in some top offensive linemen as well in that kind of second, third round range. So that's another position where we need to build some depth. So I definitely think offense in general will get sprinkled in there. And we can't completely ignore the offense. You got to bring in some guys. You got to continue to build depth, because that's our biggest thing, right? We get guys that go down, then we're relying on undrafted guys, and then we can't compete. That's what happened with the defense last year. We can't have that with the offense. So while we're going to go heavy defense, and rightfully so, we need to get some offense in there as well.
It seems, Rashad Beard, that Xavier Legette has kind of become one of America's favorite football players because the dude is freaking hilarious. We played the clip earlier. I don't know if you've heard it. XL clued us into his raccoon recipe, the way that he cooks up his raccoon we've heard so much about. We played the clip yesterday. It was fantastic. I 100% would sit down and try some raccoon with Xavier Legette. That being said, can he be wide receiver 1 for this team?
That is such a loaded question, because I view Legette as a top end wide receiver 2. Like, again, and that's no shade, right? That's no shade. I just don't know that I see defenses having to game plan for Legette. Like, I haven't seen it yet. Not to say that he can't get there. I just have not seen it. He's got the speed. One thing that he's gotten really better at is his route running. So that's one of the knocks for him coming into the season, was that, he can't run routes. He's just a speed guy. But he's able to get open, right? We've seen him get open. Getting open isn't the problem. It's catching the football. He had a 14% drop rate last year. No bueno. Like, it's not good. And so I think it's all mental for him. I think he's admitted it. That's the thing I like about Legette, man. Hey, I own it. It wasn't good. I'm going to get better. I'm going to get on a jugs machine. We've seen guys like, Tommy Tremble improve their hands. We've seen guys like Shuba Hubbard improve their hands. So I think it's all mental for Legette. But I am not resting my laurels, and it seems like the team really is. It seems like the team is all in on Legette being wide receiver 1, and that's okay. If he jumps into it and dives feet first into it, then that's cool. head first, whatever the saying is. What's the saying? Is it head first, feet first?
Let's go ahead. Let's go head first.
Let's
I think head first is
head
commitment.
First. That is commitment. Let's go head first into improving his hands. I think that he will be wide receiver 1. I think he can be. I just don't personally. I don't see it.
You got Deontay in the chat said XL is a mid to top wide receiver 2, in my opinion. Problem is before and after the draft, his fan base made him out to be wide receiver 1 of the future. And that's an interesting take, Rashad, because I do think there is, and I'm included in this group, there is so much positive momentum wanting this guy to succeed because of his personality and his character that I worry. And it's obviously less about the fans, more about the team. But I worry that they look at this guy and everybody loves him and he's such a fan favorite that maybe you try to force him into spots that are a little bit bigger than him. And I'm not talking physically. I'm talking obviously in terms of his role within the team. I do get a little bit concerned that just out of, we love this guy, he's fun, he's a character, he's a personality, he's going to sell us 1 billion jerseys, and we could probably start selling raccoon in the bank and making $1 gazillion off of people trying the XL special, that maybe you push him a little bit beyond what that true capability ceiling is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Again, there's a lot around XL. Like you said, he is a character, and I think he could potentially develop into a 1. It's just tough when you're drafted in the first round, right? We traded up to get him, so there's some level of responsibility and expectation that comes with that. And so I just don't know that, and it doesn't help that an undrafted guy comes in and, for all intents and purposes, had a better season than you, right? And when Jalen Coker is an undrafted guy and he lights it up, it doesn't help, that he's out here balling and we selected you as number 1 guy in the first round and he's outplaying you. So, and again, it's just a little bit expectation versus reality. Again, I'm not out on him at all. Like, I think XL has a role in this offense and can be great. I think some folks asked me about expectations for XL coming into the season. And I said, hey, 800 yards. If he can give me 700 to 800 yards next year, I think that is a win for XL. So I think he can do that.
We are talking to Rashad Beard, host of the Panther Nation podcast here on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. Talk to me a little bit about this cat that we signed to play tight end, a former basketball player who has not played football since his high school year, but it was pointed out a couple of days ago to me that Canales and Morgan have done this before. They did it in Seattle. They did it with a cat by the name of George Fant, who they brought in to be like a hybrid tackle tight end guy. And he did play college football at Western Kentucky, kind of a reserve role, kind of a like specialty package, whatever. George Fant went on to play 7 years in the NFL and had a damn good career at the time. I saw a lot of Panther fans like hitting the old WTF comments on the different forums and whatnot. My response was, guy, you got room to bring in somebody to do it a little experiment in training camp. They've already had success trying it. Give me a 6'9", 245-pound tight end that I can just say, I'm going to throw it up somewhere roughly around the top of the goalpost. Go get that thing. Let's see if it works out. Like, they're going to answer the question we've asked many times of, could I take an NBA player, put him in a tight end role, and have success? Carolina's about to try to answer that question.
Yeah, again, very interesting. I applaud them for going out there and being aggressive and trying to make this happen. I personally have very low expectations. The guy hasn't played football since, I believe, the 8th grade. And so he's going to go out there. The game is physical. I like his attitude. He seems like a really good kid. And I applaud them for going out there and try to make this happen. Again, like you said, they have a track record of doing that. Canales and Dan Morgan were on that staff when Fant was there. So kudos. I think it's, why not, right? You have 90 men to try it out, and let's see if he can make the roster. I think, again, it's going to do nothing but help Bryce Young potentially if he makes the roster. That red zone threat, the jump ball, that's where Bryce Young thrived in college, having those guys that can go up there and get it and dominate the 50-50 balls. And so, I think it's cool. I think during training camp, this is going to be a fun story to watch. I mean, it's going to be all eyes on him. And yeah, I'm excited for it. I have low expectations for him making the actual team, but I'm excited for it. Why not?
Yeah, I think that's the take from me. Like, let's have some fun. Let's see what happens. Colin Dranger, who is, again, 6'9", 245, See if we can just throw it up and go get that guy. I mean, I saw somebody yesterday say, oh, does this mean that we're, the Jatavian Sanders experiment is dead in water before it started? I'm like, no, it doesn't mean that. That guy's going to be a better route runner, better pass catcher, probably a better run blocker. I don't need Colin Granger for any of that. I need a guy that I can say, put on the cape, put the underoos on the outside. I'm going to throw it 10 feet in the air, and I want you to go up there and dunk that thing. And if he can translate that somehow, Rashad Beard, even if he never touches the football, he becomes a threat that forces defenses to clog the middle. I'm kind of intrigued, man.
So you're calling him the next Tony Gonzalez. That's what you're saying.
What the hell? Why not? I mean, since you and Lonzo both love to say that I said things I definitely didn't say, yes, that's what I said. Tony Gonzalez, Volume 2.0.
I don't know why you're getting angry. I mean, that's not a bad thing.
I mean, if it works, it's a great thing.
Yeah, if it works out, I mean, I supported it the whole time. Never questioned it.
Never once. Never
if it doesn't
once.
work, if it doesn't work, then I told you.
Rashad will show up that dude's going to score 15 touchdowns. Rashad's going to show up and be like, hey, Rob Brown, remember that time I told you he was the next Tony Gonzalez? Watch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
And we'll screenshot your expression when he said it and just play it back to you.
Rashad Beard, host of the Panther Nation podcast, kind of enough to join us every Thursday at 8:40 to talk a little Panther football. The next time we get together, it'll be all draft talk for the rest of the month. My man, appreciate you, big dog. Glad to have you back, buddy.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys. Good to be back, man. I missed you.
We'll do it again. Rashad Beard, host of the Panther Nation podcast. Follow them on X at Panther Nation PC. More importantly, get on over to YouTube, get subscribed, hit the bell because they go live all the time. I imagine there's going to be 700 to 900 hours of draft coverage when we get a little bit later in the month. 700 to 900 seconds of Sports Flash start now.
That's a lot longer than you think. It's not going to be that much. The Clemson Tigers were powered to a 4-2 win over Gardner-Webb yesterday at Doug Kingsmore Stadium by a pair of Jacob Jarrell homers. Jarrell. Anyway, he hit the ball, including one of the sixth that broke a 2-2 tie. Clemson opens a 3-game set against Stanford at home starting Friday night. I'm not going to ask you for the pronunciation. Luka Doncic made his return to Dallas for the first time since the Mavericks made the stunning trade that sent him to L.A. Doncic scored 45 points on a 16 of 28 shooting and 7 of 10 from 3 and added 8 boards and 6 assists in the win, also known as 6 assists. Tune in this afternoon from 3 to 7 p.m. for Wire to Wire. Cole Bryson and Diesel Ride Shotgun on your drive home and get you up to date on the latest local and national sports news. Great guests. Great debate, and a whole lot of fun. I mean,